Mhm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to RMT, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transforming. Today's episode is how to manage in-laws. How to manage in-laws. Here in the studio with me, I have my co-hosts who are going to be dissecting the topic how to manage in-laws. In-laws are your family adopted by marriage. So today we're going to look at how to manage your adopted family member who are adopted by marriage. In the studio with me, we have Mr. Oluwafemi Oluwalere.
Good
Good
evening. Happy
evening,
weekend
sir.
to every. Good evening. Happy weekend to everyone. Good evening. Happy weekend to
Also in the
everyone.
studio is Dr. Good evening, sir. Also in the
Oh, God.
studio is Dr. Femi Samuel. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, viewers, and good evening, the calls. How has the weekend been?
Very well.
Oh, God.
Yes, straight into the
We can hear you, Sir Mr. Oluwalere. We
topic
can
of
hear you.
today.
Oh. Dr. Booth, call me back later. I'm online on the program. Please.
You can put your phone on.
Oh.
Okay. You can actually put your phone on plane mode, sir. Mr. Oluwalere, you can put your phone on plane mode so that calls will not come in. I think I might have to do that too. So, I'm going to start with
Oh.
the
Hello?
Hello, sir.
Hello? The line just
Hello,
cut me
sir.
off. I don't know what happened. I was cut off completely, so I have to call in again. And
Maybe
as it is,
because,
Tony,
yeah, she too is. She
and
put
Tony
her
is not
phone
here.
in aeroplane mode. Aeroplane mode will cut off all activities, including the network.
Ah, you should try to remove that now. Yeah. Where is she? Oh? Wow. So you should call me now.
Am I back online?
You
Yes.
are back after so long a time. You are.
So sorry about. Oh, yes. Sorry, I actually put my phone on play mode instead of do not disturb. So my network went off. I didn't know that. So I said the first question. Did you hear the first question I asked?
No,
No.
ma.
Hello, Dr. Samuel. I said
ma.
that the first question was that I said, is it out of place to treat our in-laws as part of our own family?
Thank you very much, Mama T.
Is it out?
The in-law, to treat one's in-law as part of family is not out of place. In this part of the world, when we are married to marry someone, we tend to take that family as part of our family because it's an extension of family. So treating your in-laws as part of your family is not out of place because they are actually part of your family, the extended family, and they should be treated as such. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Oluwalere, please, at what time or at what point do we draw a boundary from our in-laws interfering in our relationship and the running of?
It's out again. You are out again.
The question she was trying to ask is that at what point do we draw boundaries between the in-laws, our in-laws, the influence of the in-laws in our life? That's what she was trying to ask.
Okay. Can I answer now without her presence?
Yes,
Well,
you can, sir.
Like Dr. Femi Samuel said, once you get married to a family, that family automatically becomes your own family. It has become an extension of your family. And if it's an extension of your family, then it's treated as your family. But there's nothing wrong in drawing a boundary. If we discover anybody is going outside this boundary, it's not even limited to family alone, even to your own blood relationship, to your own blood relation, sorry. If you discover anybody in your family is going beyond their boundary, then you warn and you be careful and you draw a line. So as it is applicable to your family, so also is applicable to in-law. There are some in-laws that are more than what they do to you is even more than the family themselves. That you even disclose more information to them than even your blood-related families. But if anyone is going outside his boundary, be it your in-law, your parents, your sisters, your brothers, then there is nothing wrong in drawing a line. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Samuel.
Yes, I'm with you.
Yes, if we can confront or reprimand our own family members, why can't we do the same to our in-laws if we really treat ourselves as one family?
Thank you very much, Sister Toyin. I remember when I was about a book I read some time ago about Animal Farm. It says all animals are equal, but some are more equal.
Some are more equal than others.
Yes. For the fact that your in-laws are part of your family or doesn't give you right to talk to them, you deserve a level of respect. I'm talking from the perspective of the African culture, in which our in-laws are treated as deity. Because in this part of the world, you don't
Our
just go
in-laws
to
are
the
treated as deity.
treated as deity. In fact, if I'm permitted to speak in Yoruba will say Orolana. That means you are treated as deities. You accept them, you love them, but you cannot disrespect them because of the way they are being treated, because of the way we see them. So when you marry someone from a family, you marry her with everybody in that family. In fact, in some places in Africa, you have to give the woman to the family, not to the man. It's being seen that the family is a union. The union goes beyond just the man and a wife. It extends to the two families are coming together, forming a big family. So when you look at it from this point of view, you cannot just talk to your family anyhow. You can't talk to that as I'm talking about the in-laws that are family. You can't talk to them anyhow. You still have to respect them, if need be. Though the Bible also says that rebuke not an elder, but entreat him as a father. So if you see that person as an elder, you don't have to talk anyhow to rebuke, but there's a way you also entreat him as a father and as your parent. So if you see it that way, the word reprimand may be too hard to be used in talking to an in-law, but there are softer way, better way in which your message could be passed across to them without you causing fracas or damaging someone's opinion or ego. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere.
Yeah.
Why do people find it difficult to forgive their in-laws when they are wrong? Or when they wrong them? Why is it difficult to forgive them?
I don't think that question is even limited to in-laws alone. It's also extended to families. And it has to do with individuals. Ordinarily, if one offends you, tell the person and let it be settled immediately. So the issue of keeping malice with somebody is not biblical. If somebody offends you, tell him and let it end there. So maybe saying you don't forget your in-law because of the fact that he has done something. It has something to do with one's attitude. If you have the attitude if you have a kind of attitude which has to do with a forgiving spirit, then it's not even limited to in-laws alone. There are some people, even when their mother or their father or whoever in their family wrongs them, forgiving them becomes difficult. So you discover it has to do with individuals. If you can forgive your family, the same way should be extended to your in-laws. Mark, we said it from the beginning that once you get married to a place, you automatically become part of that family. And I regard all my in-laws as if they are my families. So if I say I can't forgive them, it means that is the type of attitude I have, which is not supposed to be anyway. It's not biblical for someone to offend you and you continue to keep malice without forgiving that person. So it's not limited to in-laws alone. It has to do with attitudes. If you have that attitude, that forgiving spirit, then it's not just your in-law alone. It means if you cannot forgive your in-law, it can also be extended to even your family, your blood-related families. Thank you. You are muted, Auntie Toye. You are muted. You are muted.
Please. You are not audible.
You are muted. You are. It's muted. It's muted. It's muted. Just remove it.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
We realize that, okay, this has to do with individuals. Some people have difficulty in forgiving other people. But what about the cases where you have this same person? Their own blood will do something worse, and they'll find it, they can forgive that person. But because this person is their in-law, they all tie to it. Why is it more difficult? Mr. Oluwalere, I'm still referring.
Okay, you are still referring to me. That's why I said it earlier on. I said it has something to do with attitude. The issue of maybe thinking is because an in-law you can't forgive shouldn't arise. It has something to do with family. Remember when you get married to a particular family, to me, it automatically becomes my family. If they offend me, the way I will handle it with my family is the same way I will handle it with my in-laws. If I can't forgive my in-law, it means I can also extend it to my family, which is not supposed to be. If Jesus Christ himself can forgive in terms of, in spite of all they have done to him, in spite of all the wrongs they have wronged him, and yet he forgave. So, as human beings as well, you shouldn't, it's not right that somebody from your family does something and you forgive easily. And when it comes to your in-law, you find it very difficult to forgive. That means you are not treating that person as your in-law. You are just separating him from your family. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir. Then, I'll still direct this question to you.
Okay.
Okay, Dr. Samuel is back. Dr. Samuel, do you have anything to add to that? Why do we find it difficult to forgive?
Why we find it difficult to forgive?
Yeah.
To forgive your
in-law. Pastor Oluwalere said.
When they wrong them, they can forgive their own blood. I think when they did was.
I don't know what Pastor
they can forgive their own blood. When they did
yes. But what I felt about it is that if you see that those your in-law as a competitor and not a family member, you may have that problem. Most people they don't really find it easy to accept their in-law. They see the in-law as threat, not as a family member. They see that as someone that is contending for their spouse, someone they don't have access to. It depends on the kind of relationship you build with your in-laws. If it's a relationship in which gently, humbly, you can explain that, mommy, I don't really enjoy this part of it, you will have problem, because in forgiving someone, sometimes you need to empty what you have in your mind. Some people may find it difficult to forgive if they cannot really say what they really see out their mind. So because they see those people as if someone they cannot, that is out of the reach, someone they cannot touch, someone they cannot reach out to, so they bottle things up. But if you actually see them as a member of the family, you won't be hard on them. You can always sort yourself out. The Yoruba will always say something. Sorry, maybe because I'm from the Yoruba tribe, I believe in someone saying that talking to someone that offended you is just the way to keep friendship. They'll say, Shemi Bie Onlogun. So someone has done you wrong, you didn't like it. If you can reach out to that person, you can easily delete the wrong that has been done to you. But if you see your in-law as a competitor, as someone that doesn't like you, you will just be nothing unnecessary animosity in your heart to kill you so fast. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere.
Yeah.
Pastor Oluwalere.
Listening. I'm hearing you.
Don't tell me you're not a pastor. I know in full gospel we don't call pastor, but you are a field rep. So you are at the level of a zonal pastor. So I have the
Okay.
authority to call you Pastor Lualiri. You might not be having
Okay.
that title, but you're holding a position of a pastor,
Mm,
your
okay.
responsibility. So I can call you Pastor Lualiri when I feel like. How should couples
Okay.
check their family members whenever they are overstepping their boundaries? How should
How
couples check their family
mm,
members? How should
how to
couples check their family
mhm.
members whenever they are overstepping their boundaries?
Like I repeat, I don't like this issue of restricting it to couples. It should be extended to both the couples and the families. Because
Okay, sir.
from the day you got married, your in-law becomes your family. You know the way we treat our families. I used to say it. If they take any decision in my in-laws family and I am not there, that decision is not conclusive. It's not final. I will scatter
Hmm.
it. The same thing applicable in my family. If they take any decision in my family, my wife is not there. You will start from the beginning. That's the way we treat our family. You know me very
Hmm.
well. And unfortunately, I don't have father, I don't have mother again. They've died at old age. I have sisters. So my mother-in-law is more or less my mother. So this issue of drawing a battle line, I don't like it. If you offend me and I know you are going beyond your boundary, it shouldn't be limited to in-laws alone. It should be extended to family as well. You see somebody going outside their boundary, call them, let them know this is what you have done. I don't like it. This is not the way it's supposed to be. Tell them politely. It shouldn't be your in-law alone. Even your sister. My mother, when she was alive, she has an issue with somebody, and they were to settle it. And when they were saying it, where my mother was at fault, I told her, "You are at fault, so." And thank God, I know the type of mother I have. She gladly accepted it. So that's the way life should be treated. If you want to live long, you want to have peace. Be at peace with everyone. Don't let it be limited to your in-laws or family. No, somebody has gone beyond his boundary. Let him know. Let him or her know. If he is ready to accept what you have said, good. If he's not ready, good. But at least be careful with such person. But it shouldn't be limited to in-laws alone. It should be family. Presently, you are married to a place, you are automatically a member of that family. That's the way we handle things. And that's where I think it should be. Somebody who has been kind enough to have given his daughter to you has automatically become your member, your family member. So don't let it be you shouldn't have any priority for family at the expense of in-laws. Because this is not my family. You treat him or her in such a way that is completely different from the way you are treating your family. That means you are biased. And it shouldn't be. A Christian should be careful. I think that's the way I will answer it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Dr. Samuel, do you have anything to add to that?
Well. In talking to families, when family overstep their boundaries, I will advise that their son or their daughter do the talking. Sometimes our culture could be unnecessarily difficult, especially if it's for a woman. Imagine someone trying to overstepping his or her boundary in your house, and it happen to come from your own family. As a man, if you allow your wife to express her mind, that matter may aggravate beyond what you can control. It is you with the knowledge of God that will now look for a way to tackle the issue. Because if the woman should talk, the meaning will be different than when their son is talking to them. For instance, I do something whenever my wife, whenever we need someone to come in and take care of babies, I'll prefer our own mother to come than my mom coming. My mom obviously doesn't even have the time, but I'll prefer her mom to come, because if my mom is around and she just tell my mom that I need to, if she wants to, we should go and cook also, she won't be able to eat the food. So, but in the case where someone, a member of the family, either in-law, your brother, my mom, my parents are overstepping their boundaries, I know the way things work in this part of the world. If she should open her mouth and say it, she may have to beg at last. She won't win that battle. So I will now analyze the situation, and will be the one to look for a way to correct things. I don't know. It's unfortunate that we talk about women's rights, gender equality. We are still far from it in this part of the world. But if a woman dare open his mouth and challenge the father or the mother-in-law, that is like World War III. She may not win that battle. Even if she's going to win, it's going to be with a lot of scar and injuries. So it's better to allow the man or their son or their daughter to handle that issue with wisdom. And the son or their daughter too should also know when not to push too much. You know your people, you know how to talk to them, you know how to handle them. Just try to play safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. You know when not to push too far. Pastor Oluwalere, how do you manage a sister or brother-in-law that is instigating your own brother or your sister against you?
That's a tough question. That my brother that they are instigating against me will be the person I will talk to. Let's be on the careful line now. You are instigating my brother against me. I think the right thing to do is to call your brother. The right thing is to call your brother, talk to him politely. Maybe your junior or your senior, you did specify. But let's assume brother is brother. You need to be very careful. You use wisdom. And you let him know why should he instigate you against him? You should know prior to the time he has not come to your house, there has always been peace. So why should it be the time he now steps in that peace will be withdrawn? So you carefully call him, talk to him. And if the forum is available, you will also talk to the in-law. Let him know what is right and what is not right. I still repeat it, maybe because, let me say I am lucky from where I married from. Let me give you a practical example. In my in-laws' place, my sister-in-law, the senior sister, this Christmas period, she was with us, with our children. They came to spend 1 week. And in terms of weight, she can buy me 10 times. But because of the intimacy, you say, Daddy follower, you this year, you are the one who will buy my Christmas clothes. And we started laughing. I said, you can buy me 100 times. Which Christmas clothes? And why she say this? Because my sister-in-law in Akure last year insisted I have to buy her Christmas dress. And because of the intimacy, I bought for that one. He said, no, you are boss of so person. You buy. I said that you can buy me 100 times. He still insisted. I turned everything to play. Why? Because we have become one family. The same way when I talk to my mother-in-law at times, but when you want to do something, I say, you know you are my mother. I don't have mother again. I don't have father. You will laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. That is the way life should be. That's the way life should be. So if an in-law is instigating my brother against me, the first person I will call is my brother. I will let him know, you know, before this person came in, we have been at peace. Why should it be at this moment that somebody has called me that you are doing this? Do you want us to tag him or her as a bad person? And I need to talk to him politely so that he will see reason. More so that he knows at the time he also will get married if he has not gotten married. So, and I think if I talk to him, he should be able to see reason with me. There's nothing like peace at home. It is when you enjoy peace that everything will fall in place. If there is no peace, it will scatter every other thing. Even when you go to the office, it will affect your output. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel, do you have anything to add to that?
No, sir.
When your partner is
Thank you very much.
You against your family member.
Well, beg your pardon, the question again. Hello?
Yes. The question is, how do you manage it? Okay, now I think Mr. Oluwalere have done it from the other side, from the in-law side. If your sister-in-law is instigating her husband against the family, so he has treated it from the angle of the third party. Now, from the angle of the partner, how do you handle such situation?
Let me get the question clear. I am the husband who is instigating me against anybody. I don't know. Okay, I am not the husband. I'm an in-law now.
When the partner is instigating, no, you are not the in-law. You are the partner that is being instigated against your family members.
Yeah, okay, they are instigating me against the family.
Do you understand
member.
it?
Yes, that my wife wants me to go against family. Well, from the look of things, I know women are capable
such a husband or wife address such.
You just have to be careful when you are to pick a side between your family and your partner. It's usually a sensitive position. Most of the time, you will pray not to be at that position because you won't like it, in which the two parties are at war and they want you to take a side. And whichever side you take, you are not going to be right, you are not going to be wrong, and you need to take a side. The best thing you can do is to make the party come to terms with each other. Because as long as they fight or they are at war, you can't know peace. These are the two parties that are member of your family, that are part of you. Your siblings that you grew up with, maybe you've known them for the past 30 years before you get married, or the woman you married for the past 15 years. You now need to pick a side. We know full well that therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cling to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. Yes, we are aware. But looking at this part of the world, things don't work perfectly that way. Your family still have a lot of influence on you. This is Africa. In the Western world, yes, nobody cares about how you live, but here, no. So the best you can do is not to take side and for them to make peace. If you can do that, you two will have peace. If not so, standing between those two parties, you will not enjoy yourself at all. It's a precarious situation that a man or a partner does not need to find himself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir.
He has muted himself. Yeah?
Yes. I'm directing the next question to you, sir. How do you make a partner whose action obviously, how do you manage a partner whose action obviously shows that he or she does not like your family or a particular member of your family?
How do I manage such person?
Partner whose action, it's obvious in that person's action that he or she does not like your family or a particular member of your family.
I got your question.
It's
just like you telling me my wife doesn't like a particular person in my family, maybe one of my brothers or one of my sisters. How do I handle it? How would I handle it? I call her and let her know. First of all, is to tell me the reason why she doesn't like that person. If her reason is convincing and I can see reason with it, Then I will, with
Okay.
wisdom, call that person and talk to him or her. And I will make him at least to do those things that will make my wife to like him or her. And for my mom, my wife's side, at least he will need to convince me why she doesn't like that person. Thank God I have a wife that has a broad heart that welcomes everybody. But if peradventure I discover there is somebody in my family she doesn't like, if you want peace, he has to. So we need to sit down and find a way of ironing out those things that will not make her to like such person. And if I'm the one who discover it, I will bring it out. Come, so person, I discover you don't like him or her. What's the problem? What's he doing that you don't like that is making you to say you don't like him? You need to tell me. If it's a convincing thing, then it's now left for the two of us to know how to manage it in such a way that you will like that person. And I will talk to that my brother and my sister, as the case may be. That's the way I will talk to him. That is the way at least we would fall in line, and that at the end of the day he has to. Because as a Christian family, you are not expected to hate anybody. And if there is a reason for you to hate, it is now left for us to find a way of resolving those reasons so that it won't get out of our hands. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel,
Yes, I'm
how
with
do
you,
you
ma'am.
manage a partner who obviously shows that he or she does not like your family or a particular member of your family?
Well, you have to, just like Brother Oluwalere said, you have to find why don't they like each other. Let's look at it from this. Most of us have younger sister that we were close to. Younger sister that served as our girlfriend before we got married. So close to her, they have access to me, have access to everything, have access to. I've served temporarily as a girlfriend, as a female friend. All of a sudden, your attention is shifted to someone else. The person is now taking decisions. Someone being human, as being feminine word, it's going to generate a lot of tension. Why the shift of attention? Someone just want to be important. So when you now have that, I still say in that case it could be a difficult situation for you because two people are fighting, and what is the origin of that fight? Everything boils down to envy or jealousy or what you may say. So as a man, you must learn how to find a level playing ground. Handling it means that two of them, you must look for a way to for them to solve their differences. If they really love you and they want you to be happy, they have to be friends. So the way to handle is that you have to look for a way for the two of them to be friends. If they are friends, all well and good. You have your peace. And even when you now try to broker peace between the two of them, you must also look for a way to sort out those two. When I say sorting them out, I mean that you know who wants, what caused the problem, so that if they are friends, it's better for you. But as long as they are at loggerhead, you'll be the one to bear the pain because it's as if you are between the devil and the deep blue sea. None seems to be good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have to sort two of them out because if they are friends, the better for you. Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwalere, yes. If a particular member of the family does not like your partner, do you entertain them in your home?
That's a big question. Well, you can't say because somebody doesn't like and you disown him. No, you don't. What you just do is to find a way of making peace. At least let him tell me the reason why he doesn't like my partner. If he tells me and we can't amend it, yeah, we know that's the fault is from my head. He can't say he won't like my partner because we like it because he doesn't like my partner now. I should divorce her. It's not possible. So the indirect way of telling me you don't like my partner is that you don't like me because the two of us have become one. So we need to sit down. Tell me those things that you know my partner is doing that you don't like, and we will find a way of resolving it. Telling me you don't like my partner is telling me to divorce her, which is not possible. But I don't pray to marry two wives, and I don't pray for my wife to leave me or me leaving my wife. So you can't tell me. You can't tell me that. So we'll find a way of resolving it. So that so that whatsoever you say that my wife is doing that is not good, we'll find a way of making it maybe at least correcting those things so that you will like it. Of course, God has given me a wife that you can't hate my wife, honestly. You can't hate my wife because she doesn't go beyond her boundary. You know her very well. But if eventually she stands his ground, well, we'll find a way of distancing ourselves from each other. I mean myself and that my family member. Because my wife has become part of me. So severing relationship with him is like cutting out part of my body. Pastor Sheyi is here.
Thank
So
you
throw some of the
so
questions to him.
Pastor Shay.
Who are you, ma?
Good to have you, sir. You're welcome, Pastor Shay.
Thank you, ma.
I can't hear Pastor Shay. Okay, sir.
I'm hearing him clearly.
Let me hand over that question. Let me hand that question to you. A particular member of your family does not like your partner. Do you entertain home?
You don't like my partner.
Mm.
You don't
Yeah.
that is as simple as that. If you don't like my partner, then you don't like me. As simple as that.
That is it.
So you don't like
Yes.
So you can go and pitch your tent in another place. As simple as that. If you cannot tolerate me, not tolerate me. There is that tolerate us. Then let's carry our load and be going. Chicken out. That's the word now.
Dr. Samuel, what's your opinion about that?
Well, someone that doesn't like, most of the thing we call do not like, it's not really that they hate the person. They are fighting for a space. When I mean fighting for a space, you've been close to, I have younger sisters, and I know sometimes they could be so nasty. They just want to exercise authority over your wife. They just want to subdue her. Sometimes most of the quarrel, the clashes, disagreement you see just as a result of someone trying to control, to overpower, to subdue somebody. And that's what the fight is all about. They just want to tell you that, come, it's my brother, and I have a say here. They've forgotten to know that their brother is already joined to somebody. So, and doing away with someone like your siblings could be a little bit difficult. So when you see such aging, the question is that why are they at longer age? It's not a total hatred or so. It's just that if I can't control you, I must fight you, I must hate you. Then you may not have to look for a common ground. You tell your wife that, please, when she's talking, just ignore her. You don't need to answer her. Or as much as possible, avoid her. Sometimes you want to be greeted, it's common now to young couple. Old couple like most of you cannot experience that. Your wife is a master in that family. He has gained control, he has gained dominion. He's been seen as a senior person in that house, someone that has a say when they are taking major decisions. But for a young man of 27, they are marrying a young girl of 25, and the young man they have sisters that are 25, 20, 32. They may start trying to harass that sister. I have seen that. I have younger ones. I've seen that around me. And it's not that they really hate that person. They just want to tell you that before your arrival, we are in control and we still want to be in control. Those things take time. Just for the woman to keep quiet, study, what does she really want? She wants you to keep quiet when she's shouting. No problem. Keep quiet. She doesn't want you to reply. Yes. She wants you to cook particular kind. In fact, when you visit the family house, they will tell you that no, don't touch the pot. They want to cook. All those things are, the way women fight over petty things that you start wondering who is going to cook today, who is going to pick the beans, who will make the eba. They just want to, women like to be in control. And when you try to take that away from them, it causes a lot of problems. So when you know it's control that is making things, let it go. Look for a way to manage them, because you are still going to have, if you can't say because you are in a place of work, someone doesn't like you, will leave the place, or you call that person off. You still learn how to live, how to deal with that person, and that will be all. Thank you, ma.
Thank you so much. So most of the time, what we think is hatred is just that somebody is just trying to compete for the territory. I should be in charge to a certain extent. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm going to go over to Pastor Shea. Is it right to allow your partner take decision or have his or her way concerning issues that affect your brothers and sisters? Pastor Shea, that's to you.
Hello?
Yes. Should I take the question again?
Yeah. Is it directed to me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Is
Is it
right
right to allow your partner take decision? To allow your partner take decision or have his or her way concerning issues that affect your brothers and sisters?
Okay. It's not totally right to allow my partner to take decisions on things that affect my brothers and sisters. But I think the onus lies on me to be able to appreciate the motive at every particular point in time when my partner needs to take a decision or to intervene. Because that is my partner, virtually everything that happens in my family, she sure will have a full knowledge of this. And times why I need advices, she would also be able to give advices. But I am going to be very sensitive to be able to discern the motive behind the advice. If the motive are right, why not? I've had cases of that about a wrong decision about the other members of the family. I've had to also do some of those things to my wife. Maybe she was going to take a decision when she got annoyed. I'm so sure I've said this in one of the episodes I've in a part on this platform that I'm the last one in our own family. So that creates a social system that is different the way you look at it. So being the firstborn in our own family, if she decided that this is what I'm going to do, which I feel that is not totally right, or it could be looked as being autocratic, I will convince her not to go that route. Why don't you look at it like this? Why don't you take this type of decision in such a way that it will not cause a major chaos in our own family? Same way, I expect her, if she notices that there are decisions that I'm taking that I must have taken either out of annoyance or out of I think they call it vindictive. If that decision is taken out of those motives, and she should be able to say, no, this is not right. Why don't you do this and do this and do this? And I should be humble enough to be able to take a part of advice.
Thank you so much, sir. Mr. Oluwaleri, what's your take on that?
The decision depends on the type of decision. If it's a positive decision, why does it have to wait for me? It doesn't have to wait for me. After all, we regard ourselves as one. We're taking a decision that will be of positive impact. You don't need to wait for me. Let me give you an example. My wife, my brother maybe is a graduate of economics, and maybe somewhere they discuss, we are looking for an BSc economics, and they discuss it. And before you get here, since I have the CV of your brother and I've given it out to him, that is a decision. It doesn't have to wait for me for that. But if it's a decision that is a little bit negative, well, you can call me to hear my opinion. Then, and it also depends. It also depends. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Samuel, your take on that?
Well,
The summer is muted.
hello. Well,
Yes?
there is
Yes,
no
we can hear you.
hard and fast rule about that question. It's just that if you need to take a decision that will benefit your siblings or your family, like you want to start a business for them. If your wife is bringing that up, that let's set this boy up, or let this boy come and stay with us, it's good your wife can take such decision. But if you need to take decision that is injurious to them, that is going to hurt them, if you don't want problem, keep your wife away from that decision. In fact, sometimes your wife should not be seen supporting that decision. Like your brother has been staying with you and you need to send him away from your house. Please don't allow your partner to be involved. The same thing go for the women. If your mother-in-law is around and you are the man, staying with you and you, due to one thing or the other, is causing problem and you want her to go, please don't let your husband take that decision. Let our daughter take such decision. But if you want to give money to your mother-in-law, yes, your husband, they can take that decision because it's a good thing. They will appreciate it when you are doing them something good. But you need to take your stand on some things that they will count as insulting in our environment. Please, it's good you do that. It will be easy for you to beg for forgiveness or for you to appeal to them later than your spouse who is not their person. So there is no hard and fast rule about this. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. So I'm going back to Pastor Sheyi. What does a man need to do to have an harmonious relationship with his in-laws?
So much to do to have an harmonious in-law. Number one, I think the first point of call is their daughter. Treat their daughter well. The first thing I've noticed in some of the people I've counseled or I'm counseling is that everybody feels that their stake must be protected. And the major stake that they have in that relationship is their daughter. So learn to treat the daughter well. The moment you treat the daughter well, it has a way of radiating and flowing to the other parties, which would definitely create a conducive environment for harmonious living. But there are quite some exemptions. Just like Dr. Femi has said, in some situations. But most importantly, is handle the situation as it comes. But have it behind your mind that your intention and the motive at every particular point in time is to have peace. In between, you might give up something. In between, you might even lose something. But as long as you get your definition of what you want to achieve right, which is every step that you take is moving you closer. They might even misunderstand your intention, but that should not stop you from going ahead with what you believe in. And as long as you focus on that peace, you eventually achieve it.
Thank you, sir. Pastor Oluwalere, what's your take on that, please, sir?
Yes. Can you briefly reframe the question again? I was, when you were asking, yes. I didn't get the questions clearly.
What does a man need to do? What does a man need to do to have an harmonious relationship with his in-laws?
Do all those things that the in-laws like. So when you do those things that the in-law likes, then there will be peace. There's no two way about it. If what you are doing are things that he likes, then you'll be in a harmonious relationship with him or her. And like Pastor Sheyi said, the first thing is when you treat their daughter very well, they can see the glory of God in her. They can see the positive difference in her life. They can see the impact you have made on her life. Definitely they will love you. But when you are the type that will flog the wife today, beat her tomorrow, chastise her today, do that tomorrow, definitely they will hate you. But when you do well, they can see your impact on her, in her life, in her character, in her appearance, definitely they will love you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Samuel,
Thank you very much. I can't agree more with Pastor Sheyi. Someone has given you the daughter. Take care of her. Do the best you can. Let them see the daughter and know that she's not suffering, she's doing well. They won't hate you. Most in-laws, if you can do that, you have a pass mark already. If you now want an extra mark, you want to get distinction, extend that thing out to them. I can't agree more. Nobody wants their children to suffer.
thank you so much, sir. Our final question before we give our final advice to the in-laws. What is your advice to the women to have peaceful relationship with their in-laws? Let me start from Pastor Sheyi again.
Again, what do I?
What is your advice to the women to have peaceful relationship with their in-laws? The wives, what do they need to do to have peaceful relationship? What's your advice for them?
Okay, number one. Let me quickly divide it my own way, so I can give them a better understanding. For the wife and her mother-in-law, let her remember that one day she will also become a mother-in-law. So the way she wants to be treated when she becomes a mother-in-law, that's the way she should treat her mother-in-law. That is because I know that that's the major place where there are more complications. So other members of the family, treat them like your family. Unless we have cases where they don't want to be treated respectably. But even in that type of situation, still treat them with respect. I feel respect does beget respect. If you respect them, a fairly sensible in-law also put herself or himself in a position of respect. But note that everything that you do is sowing a seed. You will surely reap it one day, one time, sometimes. Thank you.
Mama
Can't
T,
hear
you are
you.
muted.
You are muted.
You are
I
muted.
think so.
It's
My
muted.
phone,
You can't hear you.
No, Mama T, you are muted again. You are still muted.
The thing is going on.
Yeah.
Uh, okay, it's just going off and off. Doctor, I'll take the question to you. Your advice to the women, to the wives, so that they can enjoy peaceful relationship with their
The wives.
brothers, sisters, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws.
The position of a wife is challenging. You have a lot of people to satisfy. The husband is there, the children, and the family. And you have to do it perfectly for you to have peace. So I will advise the women that they should see the challenges they are facing to be temporal. Tough time never lasts, but tough people do. You just try to bear, try to tolerate those people. We know sometimes some people could overstep their boundaries, but don't look at that. You have a target. So when you have a target, let those things be a distraction. Don't let them be a distraction to you. Tolerate them. A time will come, they will respect you for that. When you are doing what is good, they know. When you are doing what is wrong, they know. That are married, that it's a matter of time. You overcome those criticisms. and they will learn to see you as a mother, but you have to tolerate them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm going to go to our last question, and I'm going to start from Ms. Oluwaleri. That's, what is your advice for the in-laws so that they can have a good relationship with their couple brother and sisters? The in-laws, as a third party, what's your advice to them? That's our final word for today. The final word to the in-laws.
My advice to my in-laws is well to be humble, to be respectful, and not to go beyond their boundaries, and not to stand between myself and their sister. If you don't stand between us and you are humble, you are respectful, you don't go beyond your boundary, whatsoever you want to get, you get the maximum support. That's just my advice, the little advice. Be humble, be respectful. Don't constitute yourself as a cog between the husband and your sister, the wife. Once all those ones are not there, definitely you get a maximum cooperation. Thank you.
Dr. Samuel, thank you so much, sir. Dr. Samuel, what's your advice to the in-laws so that they don't cause problem in homes?
My advice to the in-law is that they should let go. You cannot be the number one person in your son's or your daughter's life forever. I'm already thinking that one day someone will take my daughter and my son away. I must learn to hand over, to let go. The only person I have a hold on is the person I marry. All other ones, they will go one day. And when it's time for them to go, be ready to let go. It's a problem we have in Africa that even to let power go, we don't want to leave a position, we want to be there forever. You cannot forever be relevant or take the alpha seat in that person's life. Let go and let God.
Thank you, sir. Pastor Shane, what's your final word for the in-laws so that they don't cause chaos in homes and in relationship?
Well, my final word is that the in-laws should know that the life is a sowing and reaping thing. You sow evil, you reap evil. You sow love, you reap love. You sow respect, you reap respect. I want to tell them to be calming down so that they can enjoy so let them be calming down. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And to our viewers, we've had a wonderful time today addressing this issue of managing in-laws. We have been told that our in-laws are treated as deity in Africa. In forgiving someone, you need to empty what is in your mind. And when that there's nothing as good as having a peaceful home. And also that most of the things that we call hatred in most home, among family and among the couple and the in-laws, is most of the time somebody competing for their space. And also that one day that the women should also know that they will become mother-in-laws. Then the position of the wife is challenging, that she has to satisfy her husband, satisfy the in-law, satisfy the children. So she should learn to tolerate the in-law. And to the in-law, that they should let go. And finally, the in-laws should calm down. This is where we're going to draw the curtain today on this episode of Real Men's Talk. So, Bye for now, and stay glued to RMT, where it is sizzling hot, interactive, and transforming. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Good night.
Goodbye. Thank you. All right.
Goodbye. Sweet dream.
Thank you. Bye bye.